The excitement of Union County boys basketball returns to TV3. Our cameras come to Union Catholic High School for the independent clash of Watchung Conference foes, the visiting Farmers of Union and the host Vikings of Union Catholic. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Tober, and you talk about Union County basketball. There's a pride in this county going back to pro basketball players like Rick Barry of Roselle Park, Chris Gatling of Elizabeth, now with the Golden State Warriors. But there's also great competition throughout the Watchung Conference, the main conference in Union County. Our two combatants here today have struggled in 1995-96, but both are looking to pick things up this afternoon. And joining us today on our broadcast, a new colleague on our basketball broadcasting team, Ted Fiore, the former coach at St. Peter's College. Welcome aboard, Ted. And also, looking at this ball game, both teams looking to pick things up in the second half of the season. A big game for both clubs.
Oh, for sure, Steve. First of all, it's nice to be here working with you. But you made an excellent point. Union High School has won 4 of their last 5. And they need desperately to get some wins to make it to the postseason, which is the state tournament and the county tournament. Union Catholic, speaking with Dwight Wilbur, he's trying to build on a pretty good performance the other night against Linden with his young club. So it looks like an interesting match.
Union, which comes in at 6-8 with 3 wins, including those 4 out of 5, coached by the veteran Ted Zawacki. They're looking to have Darius Skeet become eligible next week. He's been working on his academics, a 6'6" junior, last year's leading scorer. But this year's club has a fine senior player, Ted, number 34, Andrew Horton, another in the long line of Horton brothers at Union High School.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the last one, because they certainly have had a tradition in Union of Hortons. They've been outstanding athletes. They've gone on and represented Union on the collegiate level very, very well. And from what I hear, Andrew's a real good one.
Elizabeth City, William Patterson, North Carolina A&T among the schools looking at Horton. Union Catholic under Dwight Wilbur, 1-11 this year. Certainly a struggle after a 13-10 mark a season ago. It's a team with only 3 seniors on the roster, Ted, but their team leader, a young man who may have Ivy League aspirations, number 25, Jim Regan.
Well, Jim's an outstanding young player, and his dad happens to be a friend of mine, Jim Sr. And Jimmy, from what I understand, has really had a good year individually. He's averaging about 18, 19 points a game and is being looked at by some of the Ivy League schools. So, hopefully we can get a good performance out of Jimmy today.
And Ted, as a former coach and maybe another future coach someday, you can certainly empathize with what goes on with Dwight Wilbur, a young coach trying to work his way in here at Union Catholic in his 2nd season. Ted Zawacki, the veteran mentor for Union. An interesting contrast there, and their team's also a little bit of a contrast in their styles of play.
Well, for sure. Ted is an old friend of mine. We're going way, way back, and we worked together for many, many years. And Ted, you're going to see his team play outstanding man-for-man defense. You're going to see him very patient on offense and really execute. Dwight, with his young team, is trying to do some things. He's playing some zone, he's pressing some, and also mixing in some man-for-man. But he's trying to get his kids to grow on the job, and that's tough to do.
And Coach Wilbur has a lot of youngsters. You'll see him here today. Last Saturday, Union beat Union Catholic 56-40. We'll see if we have a little different story here today, here at Union Catholic High School. We've set the stage. We'll be back with the opening tip-off right after this.
It was damp outside, and I was leaving home with my granddaughter. I was stopped by a state trooper. He gave me a ticket because I was not wearing my seatbelt. Approximately 4 days later, I was involved in this very bad traffic accident. However, I was able to walk away from that accident because I was wearing my seatbelt.
Buckle up. Seatbelts save lives.
A lot of men believe that after their baby is born is the time to start loving it. Unfortunately, if they smoked around their pregnant partner, or created an environment of drinking or drugs,
this is no good for me,
or fought excessively with their pregnant partner,
Why do I have to change my life just because you're pregnant?
they increase the odds of their baby being born at a low birth weight, which can cause lifelong problems. So start loving your baby before it's born, so it can be healthy enough to love you back. Remember, men have babies too.
And welcome back to Union Catholic High School, everyone. Steve Tober, Ted Fiore. Let's check our starting lineups for today's clash. An independent game between two Watchung Conference foes. Union at 6-8, Union Catholic at 1-11. The Union Farmers, who have won 4 out of 5. They're led by number 34, Andrew Horton, and watch out for number 31, LaForest Knox. He's a freshman guard to keep an eye on. The Union Catholic Vikings, who come in at 1-11 under Dwight Wilbur. Their featured player is Jim Regan, number 25, a senior guard. Jason Ashiapeki, he's a tongue twister. He's a great sophomore forward who stepped into the lineup. Our coaches, the veteran Ted Zawacki for Union, and Dwight Wilbur for Union Catholic. And our official getting set to throw up the tip, Ron Pacina and Guy Borges. And we're underway. Top controlled by the Union Farmers in their road maroon with a gold and white trim. Union Catholic in the home white with a blue trim.
Union Catholic in a 1-2-2 zone.
And Ted Fiore, Ted Zawacki talks a lot of compliments about the freshman guard Knox.
Yeah, number
He's a good
31.
one. Horton.
Comes from a great line of players in his family. Gary Brokow's cousin, and Michael Boyd.
Brandeberry misses from the outside. Point du jour with a rebound, though, offensively for the Farmers. 3-point shot off the mark by Rob Dempsey. Ball out of bounds. It'll be Union Catholic basketball. There's a good look at Horton, a fifth in a long line of Horton brothers to play at Union. Probably the most known, Lenny Horton, who played with Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, that's correct. And Coach Zawacki is very high on Andrew. Thinks he's an outstanding young player with potential to play beyond this at the Division I level.
And as we see the Farmers out in their man-to-man.
Man-to-man. You'll see Ted Zawacki play. If he plays anything to man, I'll be surprised.
Almost a steal by Knox. For Union Catholic basketball, Regan will.
They won't let you pass the ball around easily. They'll be in passing lanes and they'll be helping one another, and you're going to see good, solid, fundamental basketball here.
Coretta passes outside to Rossner. Brian Rossner, the junior point guard for the Vikings, with Knox working on him.
They come off a little pick and roll, and the Union steps in on it very nicely.
Rossner from three-point territory off the mark. Rebounded by Brandeberry. And Knox will push.
Bringing it up in a hurry.
Horton from the baseline. Rebound by Ashiapeki. Union Catholic
There's the pick.
has the ball stolen.
Quick hands.
Knox with a beautiful feed up court, and Dempsey lays it home, and Union takes a 2-0 lead on the layup by Rob Dempsey.
There you go again with the defense creating the offense, and I think that's something that Ted likes to do, make his defense create some offense.
Two young guards, the freshman Knox, the sophomore Dempsey for Union. Rossner down the lane. Rebounded by Point du jour. Rudy Point du jour, who is a defensive back on the football team, has stepped into the starting lineup at forward for Union.
Catholic in a 1-2-2.
5:43 to go, first quarter, just underway, 2-0 Union. Horton, that three-pointer was off the mark. Stolen.
Careless pass.
Brandeberry drives and hits.
Again, the defense creating the offense. There's a little sloppy pass. Kid Brandeberry steps in the passing lane and steals it and takes it in to score.
Brandeberry is 6'1" senior forward. Union leads 4-0. Nice pass inside to Rossner. And Union Catholic gets its first bucket with 5:11 here in the first quarter. 4-2. Alley-oop for Horton from Dempsey is too long.
A little uncharacteristic. It's a tough pass to make. Kids, you know, they get a little excited and they see that and they want to make that great fancy play, and it's a tough pass to make.
Union plays a very hard man-to-man.
It's the old pick and roll.
Nice pick. Rossner's fouled by Horton.
Well, Horton picks up the foul, but the problem on the defense occurred at the site of the pick and roll where no one stopped the penetration, and by the time it got into the lane, it was a little bit too late, and you know, they tried to go for the block and committed the foul. So he's shooting two.
First team foul. It's a great vantage point here at Union Catholic High School. Beautiful gym built in the early 60s. It's
They've had a heck of a tradition here, too, in basketball, Steve, over the years. They've had some outstanding players come out of here and some outstanding coaches. The athletic director, Rocky Lettieri, is a classmate of mine from Seton Hall University. He's done a real fine job here.
Rocky, the fine athletic director. Of course, great coaches like Neil Horn and Bill Berger done a nice job here over the years. Here's Knox, way off the mark.
They've been a little content to shoot that three on the perimeter. There's Union Catholic looking to break it up.
Rossner for three, in and out.
Got it up there. Rossner's had a good season for the Union Catholic team. He's averaged about 15 points a game.
Hands out about a half a dozen assists as well. This zone testing the perimeter strength of Union.
Absolutely. Union's kind of been content to stay out there and shoot the three. There's good drive, good penetration.
Nice left hand by Brandeberry. His second field goal for 4, 6-4 Union.
You need to do that against zones. You got to penetrate the basketball either by the dribble or the pass, and not just pass around the perimeter and shoot threes. It's difficult to do.
Ashia Pekai, ball knocked away and a foul will be on Dempsey. First personal on the sophomore Rob Dempsey, second team foul for Union.
You know, he really didn't even have to commit that foul because he had help coming over and they were ready to help out on the ball, and he just committed a kind of careless foul.
Coretta. Nice block by Horton.
Block by Horton.
Young man averages 6 blocks a game. Again,
There's
Brandeberry.
the drive and the kick. Good, yeah, see, there's good ball movement. Good open shot. Penetration, got it.
Good look for Dempsey, just off the mark.
That's right. But the penetration is what gets you that. You know, you drive in, you get two people on the ball, and you make a second pass, and you get an open.
Another steal for the Farmers. 3:16 to go first quarter, 6-4 Union.
This is important for Union Catholic because in their last meeting, Union got up to like 18-6 first quarter lead and never looked back, and so it's important for Union Catholic to stay close here early on.
That was a 56-40 Union victory in Union. That was the Watchung Conference game. This is an independent clash. Here's a side jump by Point du Jour. A nice rugged rebound by Coretta.
Well, again, you know, Union moved the ball. They got 5 or 6 passes and wound up with the open shot and didn't get it down, and I think that's what Dwight might be counting on.
Rossner with a beautiful drive.
Great penetration.
He has all 6 Union Catholic points. We're tied at 6.
And he did that with the left hand. Steve, he's a right-handed player, and he showed he can go to his left.
So important to learn to use both hands. Knox looking to penetrate that zone. Young freshman point guard for Union. Brandeberry is fouled.
And again, there's good penetration by LaForest Knox. He makes penetration, he gets 2 to play 1, he makes the pass, and they wind up with a pretty good shot and a foul.
Foul on Upperman. That's the first team foul.
Dwight's going to his bench, bringing some fresh bodies in there.
Checking in for Union Catholic is Christian Casimir, a 6'3" junior forward.
Christian, I've known Christian and his brothers from the days at camp. They used to come to our camp when Ted Zawacki and I worked together at camp.
Brandeberry hits both. He has 6, 8-6. Quentin Jordan, number 22, and Rodney Cruz, number 13, also check in. So wholesale substitutions for the Vikings. They trail 8-6, 1:57 to go first quarter. Casimir, Darren Casimir, was a fine player at Chatham who later went to Union Catholic. Sherrod Mangum is in now at point guard, giving Knox a break for Union. Knocked out of bounds.
Well, there's a situation where Quentin Jordan picked up his dribble, and Union very alertly tried to close off all passing lanes and almost came up with a steal. You can't be picking up that dribble too soon.
Quentin Jordan, just a
There's
sophomore.
Again, now they're going to be closing off the lanes. It's tough shot.
Forced shot up there, but he gets his own rebound.
He stayed after it.
Good hustle by Jordan, the young sophomore. Little Sherrod Mangum, 5'9" senior.
Here goes Horton.
Here's
to the
Horton
hole.
driving and hitting. That's the first bucket for Andrew Horton, 10-6 Union.
Real good, under control. Uses it in here and uses the glass.
Horton's had 6 straight 20-point efforts.
And against good people. These guys don't play any slouches. Every game
That's
is
for
a tough
sure.
game.
The Elizabeths, the Lindens. Regan
Reagan.
shot off. Nice board by Dempsey.
There's a call by Coach Z off the bench. It's 40 seconds in the quarter. They may be holding for one.
Ted Zawacki, who has coached at 4 different colleges, including an assistant for you at St. Peter's.
Well, to say that Ted was an assistant to me would really be an insult. He was my associate, my co-coach.
Good look at Ted.
Ted and I have been friends since the 60s. And he's just a great guy and a great coach.
We're down to 15 seconds left in the first quarter as Union looks for the last shot with the lead. Horton for 3.
He had a good look, and he had it on the rim.
2 seconds, 1 second, and that's it.
Yes.
A quick moving first quarter.
Well, they
Union-
held it for one, Steve, and they wound up getting a pretty good look at the basket. They got it to the guy they wanted to shoot it, and he just didn't get it down.
And the Union Farmers lead 10-6. We'll be back with more right after this.
Why care about the First Amendment? Because it gives all of us the right to express our opinions. Should school newspapers ever be censored? Do T-shirts have freedom of speech? What about prayer in public schools? And music? Should it carry a warning label? The First Amendment. Think about it. Talk about it. Because talking about the First Amendment means talking about freedom. For a free poster on your rights, call 1-800-853-3223.
Back at Union Catholic High School, Steve Tober, Ted Fiore, as Ted Zawacki has a point of advice or two for Sherrod Mangum.
Ted's tie's loose already.
Actually,
Didn't take him long.
Mangum and Knox, the 2 little guards for Union, both in the game. The freshman Knox, the senior Mangum. Union Catholic with the basketball, Rossner.
Ted probably trying to get a little more quickness in the game.
Here's Jordan going baseline. Nice feed for Cruz, who lays it home.
See, that's a great play by Jordan. He makes penetration, the help comes, he makes the kick. Now, Union probably should have rotated the guy into that passing lane, and I'm sure Coach Z will be talking about that with his team. There's Knox for 3.
Knox off the mark, 10-8. Farmers lead, just underway second quarter.
Rossner does a nice job of directing this team.
Eddie Jr. point. Regan, a
Good
travel.
walk, good call by the official.
Good call by
Great
Ron
penetration.
Pacina.
Good
Jim-
call, Ron. You
Jim-
know, I don't say that too many times about officials, Steve. People who know my reputation don't hear me say good call. So
Well, we have 2 veterans of the
I gotta
Watch
get
On
it in.
Conference. Guy Borges, Ron Pacina.
Guy Borges, boy, he's been around a long time. A heck of an official. Used to do my games when I was coaching at Our Lady of the Valley High School in Orange.
Goes way back. Here's Dempsey. It'll be Union Catholic basketball. So far, Union a little cold from the perimeter.
Yeah. Union Catholic has kept them at bay. They've got them shooting the ball from the 3-point line, and they're not making them. Here's Dwight.
Dwight Wilbur in his second season, 14-21, had a fine 13-10 season last year, reaching the parochial B quarterfinals, losing a very good St. Pat's team, and reached the semis of the Union County tournament where they lost to Elizabeth.
He's a good step in on that pick and roll. This kid does a heck of a job.
Rossner with a lovely drive. Coretta with a rebound, and he's fouled. Good work underneath by 6'4" senior Mike Coretta.
Union Catholic kids are doing a good job on the offensive boards. They miss one, they're getting the putback, and Union's going to have to tighten that up a little bit and do a better job blocking out. But Rossner's done a good job of penetrating the basketball.
You see Coretta, 9 points a game, 7 boards.
Both teams having a little trouble getting the ball in the hole.
I expect they'll warm up as we move on. Maybe a little tight about being on TV here, Steve.
Brandeberry, Horton, was a second as good, and Pointe-du-Jour up front. And back to the starting guard tandem of Knox and Dempsey for Union. 10-9 Union.
Union Catholic staying in the zone. There's no reason not to. They've done a good job with it.
Horton overshoots. Quentin Jordan with a rebound. Rossner looks to push. Knocked away. Another steal for the Farmers. Quick hands by Union. Union doesn't want to give Union Catholic the chance to set up in that zone, but so far they really haven't been able to push it up that quickly.
That's right. They haven't, you know, early in the game they got 2 baskets out of their defense, if you remember. And they finally got one down.
Dempsey for a 2, 12-9 Union. Rob Dempsey with his second bucket.
So we're seeing a defensive battle here.
12-9, 5:30 to go, second quarter. Casimir.
See, that was terrific help by Rob Dempsey. The ball was driven baseline. He stepped in. He stopped the penetration. There's the easy
There's
one
the
you're
run.
talking about.
Rebound, Pointe-du-Jour, blocked by Casimir. Nice block by the young sophomore Casimir. The Vikings push it up. Corretto travels. You have to like that from a Union Catholic perspective, though, Ted. Moving the ball up court quick. A nice shot for Corretto. Just shuffled his feet a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He made it. He tried to make a good move. He turned and he just shuffled his pivot foot. But it was a good idea. He got the guy on his back. He turned and faced him. Just shuffle that foot. And here they are sitting in the zone. They look to make some penetration. Yeah, tough shot.
Off balance shot by Brandeberry. Here come the Vikings. Ashia Pecky.
Oh, good hustle by Casimir. Good
Casimir.
hustle. You know, he fought for that rebound. He never sighted the basket when he went back up with it, but great effort. He just got to slow down and sight the basket.
Dempsey for 3 off the mark. Quentin Jordan has done a nice job early on off the boards for Union Catholic with another rebound. 4:11 to go in the first half. 12-9 Union.
And you know, Union Catholic just wants to hang in there and keep the thing close. And then you get to the last 4 or 5 minutes like this, and anybody can win a game.
Union Catholic with just 1 team foul, 3 for Union, so neither team in danger of going over the limit. Again, a steal, Dempsey.
Yeah, Union Catholic's youth is really showing up in
And
turnovers. Now,
like-
there's a transition basket.
LaForest Knox, probably the quickest player on the court. His first bucket, 14-9 Union.
See, now if you're Dwight, you're saying to your team, look, you know, when we get them into the half-court game, they're having difficulty scoring, but they have 8 of their points in transition on steals and things of that nature. So we've got to make sure they don't get any easy ones, and we get them into their half-court offense.
Timeout for the Vikings. Let's take a look at that last bucket off transition. LaForest Knox.
Great use of his body here. Protects the ball, shields the ball. He's an explosive kid. You can see he kind of changed speeds there and set the guy up and went by him.
That's good lineage too, Ted. He's the cousin of Mike Boyd, the former Orange in West Virginia standout.
That's absolutely right. And he's also the cousin of Gary Brokow, who was a great player in New Brunswick and went on to Notre Dame.
Coached at Iona for a brief time.
That's right. Good friend of mine.
As we see the Union Farmers, who are battling to make the state tournament this season at 6-8, 15-8 for 3 straight seasons under Ted Zowacki. They'll be hard-pressed to repeat 15 wins this year, but they could really turn things around. In this state section, North Jersey Section 2 Group 4, Elizabeth, Linden, Montclair, but it's a very winnable section, especially if Darius Skeet comes back full strength from missing the first semester for Union, the 6'6" junior.
That's right. And talking to Ted, you know, he, as you look at that 15-8, he's just a great, you know, consistent coach. And he expected that with Darius Skeet back this year, they might be looking for more of the same or even higher than that. And then, of course, Darius had some problems. But Ted's excited about him coming back at the end of this week.
Off the inbounds, Casimir misses inside for the Vikings. but it'll be Viking basketball. 3:24 to go first half. 14-9 Union.
Casimir is very aggressive. He really takes the ball to the hole. He just has to slow himself down and finish. He's rushing the ball when he gets, rushing the shot when he gets to the point of finishing.
Casimir, a 6'3" junior transfer from Seton Hall Prep. Good man-to-man defense by LaForest Knox. Ashia Peki to Coretta. And that'll be a foul against Brandeberry.
Of course, that's always the toughest call in the game of basketball, that block charge. It's a tough call for the official.
Fourth team foul on the Farmers, the first on Brandeberry. And Mike Coretta, a 6'4" senior, will go to the foul line. 1 of 2 so far for 1 point for Coretta.
I think if either one of these teams can start to make a run offensively, they can open up some space in this game, but both teams are having trouble scoring.
Kind of a plotting game in a sense. Union Catholic able to get back in their zone. Union not able to get as much transition as they would like. 1 out of 2 for Coretta. 14-10 Union. 2:54 to go in the first half. Union Catholic trying to find respectability at 1-11 as Regan comes down with a rebound. Horton's been cold this year.
Yeah, he's struggling. Andrew's struggling. You can even see it and now in his body language a little bit. But he's a heck of a player. And
Regan is fouled.
Those are the kinds of things. Those are the kinds of fouls that drive a coach crazy. Ted's, he's looking down, and looking for answers. But the guy, there's no reason to foul a guy in a shot like that.
No.
And give away 2 free throws.
Second foul on Brandeberry. 5th team foul for Union. Union Catholic with just 1 foul.
Jimmy Regan's their high scorer this year.
So far today, though.
Yeah, both high scorers have been limited.
Horton with a field goal for 2. Regan 0 so far, looking for his first point. 2:21 to go in the first half. 14-10 Union. I think that 14-11 as Jim Regan, who comes in averaging 18 a game, gets his first point here this afternoon.
Well, he got off to Schneid now. Maybe he'll be more relaxed.
Sherrod Mangum in along with Knox and Dempsey. So a 3-guard alignment for Union, along with the forwards Point du Jour and Horton.
They're trying to run Horton along the baseline, and that seems to be where his effective area is.
So far, an impressive first half defensively for Casimir. He's been working a lot against Horton in the zone.
He's done a good job. He's gotten out on him. There he is in the middle of the zone.
There's Horton with good position. And that time, a good look and his second field goal for 4, 16-11 Union.
Got a real good look. But that time he flashed into the middle.
Mangum tying up, and on the possession arrow, the ball goes back to the Union Farmers.
I think both teams, Ted right now would be looking for a little bit of a run here before the half and try to get out with some kind of a lead. And of course, Union Catholic hanging in there and want to keep it close. Next pass.
Knox.
Forced it.
And Quentin Jordan, who has 5 rebounds already here in the first half, pulls it down for the Vikings.
See, Knox made a terrific play there. He penetrated, he drew defense, and he just probably should have kicked it out. Now here's a break again.
Beautiful feed to Horton.
Nice look. Nice look. Way to run the court.
Good
again,
vision.
Here's an easy one in transition.
18-11 Union. Now 6 points for Andrew Horton, Union's leading scorer. We're down.
Ted's team, is considered a half-court team, and they probably are, but they go on opportunity, and here's another one.
Knox with a steal, drives and hits. 20-11 Union, opening up their biggest lead so far with 30 seconds to go in the first half. 20-11.
It's one thing when you play real good defense, Steve. Even if you're struggling offensively, your defense can create things for you. And that's what's happening here for Union.
Good hustle on the baseline by Sherrod Mangum, the 5'9" senior guard. And Ted Zawacki getting some good mileage out of his 3 guards, Mangum, Dempsey, and Knox here in the closing minutes of the first half.
Yeah, they've given him good defensive pressure.
Coretta with a nice
good
feed to
pass.
Ashiapeki for 2. Beautiful feed by Coretta.
Terrific way to play together. Excellent pass.
Down to 7 seconds, 20-13 Union. Knox.
Coast to coast.
Rebound put in by Horton, 1 second, and that'll do it. That's the end of the first half. A fast-moving first half of basketball. The Union Farmers have taken a 22-13 lead over Union Catholic. We'll take a timeout. Be back with halftime highlights right after this.
New Eyes for the Needy has been a nonprofit organization helping to provide better vision for the poor the world over since 1932. It is the only group in the area which offers eyeglasses to the community, the nation, and to the world. Your donations of old eyeglasses and jewelry enable us to help the less fortunate. So please mail your glasses to New Eyes for the Needy, Short Hills, New Jersey, 07078, or call 201-376-4903.
A lot of men believe that after their baby is born is the time to start loving it. Unfortunately, if they smoked around their pregnant partner, or created an environment of drinking or drugs,
This is no good for me.
or fought excessively with their pregnant
Why do I
partner,
have to change my life just because you're pregnant?
they increase the odds of their baby being born at a low birth weight, which can cause lifelong problems. So start loving your baby before it's born, so it can be healthy enough to love you back. Remember, men have babies too.
Back at Union Catholic High School, Steve Tober, Ted Fiore looking at some first half scoring leaders. Andrew Horton leading the way for Union with 8 points, Ken Brandenberry with 6, point guard LaForest Knox with 4, and Rob Dempsey with 4. For Union Catholic, Brian Rossner 6 points, everyone else with just 2, and Union with a 22-13 lead. Let's check quickly some first half highlights. LaForest Knox.
Yeah, this is a steal by LaForest. Notice his control. Takes it in strong. Excellent body control.
And then
Here we have Andrew Horton flashing into the lane against the zone. Turnaround jumper for 2.
And then a beautiful pass for Union Catholic from Coretta inside to Ashiapeki for a layup. One of the pretty plays of the first half for the Vikings. Back to live action. Regan's side jump over the backboard and out of bounds. It'll be Union basketball.
Jimmy just can't get one down, and he's kind of dying out there, but he will. Oh, Union Catholic out in a 2-2-1 zone press.
Trying to pick up the pressure. Nice steal by Rossner.
And it works for them.
Coretta for 2.
And the press gets a turnover and a score. There
Mike-
they are, 2-2-1 press.
Coretta with 4 points, 22-15. Batted away by Coretta, but taken by Dempsey.
Careless pass.
Good battle for the ball. Mike Coretta with great hustle for Union Catholic. And a timeout.
Teddy doesn't like what's happening out here in the beginning of the second half. They've had 3 consecutive possessions.
Coretta.
Great. Yep. Nice looking jump shot on the turnover. Nice looking jump shot on the turnover from the press. Wilbur talking very patiently to his team.
And Ted, you remember Dwight Wilbur as a guard for the Villanova National Championship team of 1985. What a club that beat Georgetown and Patrick Ewing.
That's right.
Looking ahead on TV3 Sports, Lyndon Rawway and boys basketball, keeping it right here in Union County. Ted and I will be there next weekend. That'll be on February 4th at 6:30 p.m. and again on the 5th at 6:30 also. on
Steve,
TV3.
Steve, you were mentioning Dwight Wilbur at Villanova, and Dwight was a heck of a player there. I also remember Dwight at Don Bosco Tech High School in Patterson, and he was a terrific player there.
Ragged action on both ends as Horton misses, but here comes Union Catholic on the move. Rossner on the drive. Ashiapeki with great position and lays it back home. 22-17.
Back in the game.
The Union Catholic Vikings, who trailed by 9, have cut it to 5, 22-17. 6:23 to go, third quarter.
The pressure has unnerved Union a little bit. Now Union Catholic's playing man for man.
I mean, they quickened the game in the zone, but they didn't have much success in terms of transition or getting good shots themselves. So Union Catholic, the man-to-man, seems to be picking up the spark a little bit here.
Yeah, they changed their defense. They're kind of lethargic in the zone, and at the end of the half, Union was able to get a little spurt and open up some space.
Side jump by Dempsey, way off the mark. Point de jour, battling underneath, and throws it back outside.
I think Union, when they're relying on the perimeter shooting, is having a little bit of a problem. Good penetration.
Brandenberry off
On
the
the
mark. Again, Coretta.
Coretta's getting a mountain on the boards today. Doing a heck of a job on the offensive and defensive boards for them. There's Rossner. Penetration.
Nice head
Kick
fake
out.
by Coretta. 6 points for Mike Coretta, 22-19, and Union Catholic is right back in this one, but silly reaching by Rossner, but you gotta like what you see by Union Catholic. Here
Yeah, it was a foul, and you know, it was a good call by Guy Borges, but they're trying to be aggressive, and he was trying to come up with one, and just didn't happen. But you have to play aggressively, and they are right now. I think that's helped them a little bit. They've changed their whole approach to the game here in the second half. Now they're back in their zone.
LaForest Knox, just a freshman. Dempsey for 3. Horton with the offensive board. Battle underneath.
Well, I can see Andrews a little disgusted with himself. He had a good look at the goal, and he was on the rim, and it bounded around and out. But you can see that he can score. But then, you know, they got the second one. De Jour comes back with the rebound, and you know, offensive rebounding. They're having trouble scoring. They need to score some putbacks and transition layups.
That's the third team foul for Union Catholic, the first on Coretta, as Point de Jour hits the first. Union a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line here this afternoon.
There haven't been that many foul shot attempts.
There's the first miss for Union. Rebound, Horton knocked away nicely by Upperman. 23-19 Union. Casimir is checked back in for the Vikings. Jimmy Regan, who's been held in check, a foul shot for 1. Regan coming in averaging 18 a game. Knox with the quick hands and creates the turnover.
There's the defense again. You know, when you're struggling, we've said this before, Steve, and you don't want to be redundant, but you know, when a team is struggling offensively, as they are, Union, the defense is what you need to come up and get you some easy baskets and transitions and so forth, and it's helped them, and LaForest came up with a big play there.
Well, so far the free throw differential has been there with Union Catholic. Only took 3 free throws made, the 16 for Union in their meeting last week when Union won 56-40. Today, Union Catholic has already shot 8 times from the foul line for only 4 for Union. Casimir with a rebound.
I think Andrew, you know, is a little out of control there. He's trying to force the action and instead of letting the game come to him.
Coretta off balance puts it up. Rebounded by Horton.
Good rebound.
Good aggressive play by Coretta, but maybe a little over anxious, a little frustrated he missed that shot, and a foul on Coretta, his second.
He's looking for a foul himself, I think, on a shot. And Dwight is asking the official, you know, very politely what might have happened there. But that was a good, strong rebound by Andrew Horton.
Could be a factor. 5th team foul for Union Catholic here in the second half. None for Union. Three-pointer.
Oh, that's a big 3.
Brandenberry.
You know, Brandenberry has quietly had a very nice game here. He's done a good job on Jimmy Regan defensively, limited him, and he's made some scored, I think,
Rossner drives and
7
hits.
points.
And he's fouled by Horton on the play. Great drive by Rossner. Ryan Rossner, impressive junior guard, now has 8 points.
Well, Andrew Horton did a good thing. He came over, he tried to help, and he thought he was in position to take the charge. And, you know, as I said, that's a tough call, whether block, charge, who got there, and Guy didn't see it as taking the charge.
Rossner completes the conventional three-point play, 26-22. Union clinging to a 4-point lead over the Union Catholic Vikings. 3:43 to go here in the third quarter. Knocked out of bounds.
These kids are playing hard today. Casimir's, you know, he's working hard. He's in the passing lanes and he's rebounding, and both teams are playing hard.
Casimir and Coretta have both given Union Catholic great games off the board so far, as Horton's shot goes over the backboard.
Coach Z is talking to Andrew and telling him, you know, play a full game. Now, don't you miss a shot, you can't get disgusted, do the other things. And that's what Coach is good at. He makes kids understand that this is a complete game. There's the drive.
Coretta hits it. Oh, what a shot by Coretta. And he puts a little emphasis there.
Oh, Coretta is excited. He's excited. That's a heck of a drive. Look at this move. Definitely, he steps around the defender gets him with his body, and he still finishes the play. And this is becoming a real tussle here. It's a 2-point game.
I have 3 fouls on Brandeberry for Union. Scoreboard says 2. 26-24. More importantly, Union Catholic with a chance to cut the Union lead to 1. And Coretta does it.
They're believing right now. They're in a press.
26-25.
2-2-1 press. An aggressive but maybe silly foul by Christian. He's trying to be aggressive, but you have to know the difference between being aggressive and being smart, and perhaps that wasn't the play that Coach would have wanted him to make.
First foul on Casimir, 6th team foul in Union Catholic. That could become a factor. Only 2 team fouls for Union. 3:07 to go, third quarter. Union, which once led by 9, now has a lead cut to 1 as Rossner fouls Brandeberry.
Well, you know, here we go again. The ball is being penetrated, and somebody, you know, they're always going for that steal instead of just playing solid defense, and they're committing fouls, and they're just committing too many of them now. And already Union is at the line shooting 1-and-1, and we've got 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And that's the third foul on your point guard, Rossner.
Yeah. See, so there's a difference between aggression and maybe not playing too smart.
Brandeberry misses on the front end of the one-on-one. Ashia Pecky with the board.
Union Catholic with a chance to take the lead here.
For the first time, they trailed by as many as 9. 22-13, a ball thrown away. Great save attempt by Coretta, and he kept it in bounds.
So Coretta is just playing, he's playing possessed.
What a job by Coretta, the 6'4" senior.
Possessed.
Ball thrown out of bounds, but you got to like that.
And that was
hustle.
a pretty good pass by Rossner. It was a good attempt at the basket. He saw the guy sealed, and it just wasn't a catch, but it was a real good look.
Union
Middle,
Catholic.
up.
Dempsey hits a 2. 28-25.
Good use of the middle man against the press. Hit the middle, look up, and hit an open wing.
Rob Dempsey, 3 field goals for 6. 28-25 Farmers. Good pressure by Knox, creates the turnover with Horton's steal, 2-on-1. LaForest Knox. Oh, what a pretty move.
There's the defense again. There's the defense creating the offense.
Union back to a 5-point lead. Timeout Vikings. We'll keep it right here.
Dwight wants to talk it over.
Take a look. Now, Knox had great defense. Horton,
terrific pass.
And a nice pass back to Knox.
Terrific pass by Norton to Knox. Again, this is defense creating offense. It's great, a great unselfish play, by Andrew. He could have tried to go in himself. He was under control. He made the pass off. See, that's what guys look for. College guys, they know he can make that shot. They know he can score, but when they see him make that kind of a pass and that kind of a play, they know he's a team player, and they know that he's thinking basketball out there. That's a terrific play.
The Union Farmers won Union County titles in 1974 and 80 and reached the final in 53 and 76. Tommy Fox, the coach.
Big Tom.
Coached the 3 teams, 74, 76, and 80. Some great clubs at Union High School.
Well, I tell you what, Ted Z, he stays with it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them there someday because he's doing a heck of a job with Union. As you said before, he's been very consistent with the wins.
And you get a freshman point guard like Knox getting experience like this against Watchung Conference teams. How good could he be by the time he's a junior or senior?
You know what people don't realize is you watch this game, LaForest has probably come up with 4 or 5 steals that have led to baskets. And you may look at his numbers and he may not have that many points, but he's been a significant factor in this game.
Union Catholic basketball, 1:48 to go, third quarter. Regan.
Nice set play out of the timeout.
Good look. Rebound. Casimir puts it home. Big bucket for Casimir on the board, 30-27. Union.
Just won't go away. There's the press.
Union able to break the pressure. Casimir all over Brandeberry. Point de jure is trapped on the baseline. Horton drives and hits.
Big, strong move to the goal.
First bucket of the second half for Horton. He now has 10.
Jimmy Reagan down here looking for a charge. Good, strong move by Andrew.
And Knox is all over Rossner, giving him fits.
Yeah, then they're in that passing lane. See, this is, I'm sure Ted's saying, why can't we do this for 32 minutes? Why are we just spurting like this? But every once in a while, he turned it on and changed the game.
The intensity of play certainly picking up here in the second half.
This is a big game for Union. I mean, they have to win this game if they want to stay alive in the tournament.
And TV3 will be bringing you hockey as well throughout the season, with Bridgewater, West Orange coming up, and Seton Hall and St. Joe's Metuchen. As we'll keep you on top of basketball, hockey, wrestling throughout the winter on TV3.
Coach Wilbur has given Rossner a little bit of a break here.
February 6th at 9 p.m. for West Orange Bridgewater, and February 10th at 9:30 p.m. for ice hockey action on TV3. Casimir all the way down the lane, called for steps.
Yeah, good call. Good
Nice
idea, but definitely, definitely walk.
Good look at the young junior, 6'3" Christian Casimir. Had a good floor game here so far. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. 32-27.
Ted's going to hold for one. He's going to hold for the last shot.
Union Catholic had cut a 9-point lead down to 1. Union has it back up to 5.
Looks like Union Catholic's playing a little 1-3-1 trap here on the last possession.
Quentin Jordan
good change.
Backing it forward. Here's a clear baseline shot for Brandeberry, who hits it.
Brandeberry's made some big plays in this game.
He has 11 points. A steal by Knox. Off the mark, and that's the end of the third quarter. The Union Farmers storm back in the closing minute. They take a 34-27 lead. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Back here at Union Catholic High School, Steve Tober, Ted Fiore getting set for the fourth quarter of this fast-moving independent clash. These two teams met in Watchung Conference action last week, with Union winning 56-40. Today it's been a closer ball game. The Farmers lead 34-27 as they inbound here to start the fourth quarter.
Still very much a game here, Steve. It's a 7-point game. Catholic had cut it to 1, and Union had a little spurt to open it back up to 7.
Quentin Jordan knocks it out of bounds. Brandeberry playing with 3 fouls. for Union, but he's been strong so far with 11 points. A steal by Jordan.
Steal off the inbound.
And they've held Jimmy Regan in check. A point for one, the leading scorer for Union Catholic, but Casimir
that's a
has
great
picked it
play.
up. Christian Casimir with a big field goal, 34-29.
Terrific play by Christian. Just took it right to the hole, under control, press.
The difference here today, Ted, has got to be the forward play of Casimir and Coretta for Union Catholic. As we see Coretta knock the ball out of bounds, it'll be Union basketball. The pressure and the work inside of those two kids off the boards has really helped Union Catholic.
Absolutely kept them in the game. There's no question about it, because they've gotten putbacks and second shots, and they've given Union just one. Teddy wants to talk it over. It's a critical point in the game now. It's a 5-point game with 7 minutes to go. Union Catholic is excited. They're believing they can win, and Union has to respond here. It's coming back with LaForest Knox.
34-29, Union leading with 7:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Union Catholic Vikings, a team who's been a perennial power. Dwight Wilbur, as we mentioned, started on Villanova's 1985 NCAA championship team with Harold Presley, Ed Pinckney, Harold Jensen, Gary McLean, Dwayne McLean. Quite a club that upset Georgetown with Patrick Ewing and company.
Oh yeah, that was a fun year for those guys, and he was an integral part of that. Dwight was a heck of a player.
And the Union Farmers beat Union Catholic 56-40 on January 20th.
I don't know if people remember, Ted Zawacki was a first-team All-State player at Linden High School. I think it was probably I don't want to give away his age, but you can say it was a while ago.
Well, he did play in the 1962 Final Four team while at Wake Forest,
Wake
so we
Forest.
can sort of figure it out that way. Wake Forest lost to a Ohio State team that had a couple of decent players, John Havlicek, Jerry Lucas, Larry Siegfried, and Bobby Knight.
Billy Packer was his teammate there.
Billy Packer
Teddy's teammate.
and Lenny Chappell also. Right. There's the Union Farmers coming back with a steal.
He had the guy, but he little late.
Dempsey, as Dempsey and Knox work at the guards. Horton, Point de Jure, and Brandenburg, the starting lineup for Union, as Knox drives lane. Gets his own rebound.
Well, he got a good look. He made good penetration, good look, and just didn't get it down. But it's a good basketball play.
Interesting, Union Catholic going without their point guard Rossner at this point, playing a little bigger. And it will be Union Catholic basketball. Point de Jure fighting underneath, but the Vikings take over. Union Catholic really played with what you could say are four forwards, but here comes Rossner back in.
Yeah. Their size, the size factor has been a big factor in this game, because it's given Union Catholic a chance on both ends of the glass, offensively and defensively. That's probably been their strength. Rossner got a rest. He needed one because he was working hard.
It's hard having Knox covering you all game long as well.
Yeah, that's right.
6:20 to go in the fourth quarter, 34-29 Union. Rossner
off the bench
for three.
Oh.
In and out. Brandenburg. Union breaks. Horton with the board.
Oh, there's Horton. That's a big one. It's amazing, because that shot was everything but down that Rossner took, and that's probably what happens when you're losing. You don't get those breaks.
There's Casimir on the drive, and it counts. Christian Casimir, 6 points. But more importantly, he's been a demon off the backboards and with his floor play.
That was, again, he came back with the same plays he made before. He just made that dribble penetration all the way to the hole and finished it and got fouled.
Fouls on Dempsey, his second, only the 5th team foul for Union. Union Catholic already over the limit. It certainly becomes key in one-on-one foul situations. Casimir completes the three-point play. Has 7 points.
Four-point game with 5:50 to go.
36-32.
Settle down here. Back to man for Union Catholic. Change their defense.
Every possession important at this point of the ball game.
Casimir on Horton. That's a good matchup.
Union forced to keep it outside. They're trying to find the seam. Here's Knox for three, and he hits it.
Big shot. Big shot.
LaForest Knox drains the three. He now has 9 points and gives his team a 7-point lead.
Credit Brandybury. He made good penetration, got the double to come to him and kicked it to LaForest, who finished with a big three.
39-32. There we look at the score by quarter. The Vikings outscoring the Farmers in the third quarter, 14-12. So they've really picked it up here after a slow-moving, scoring-wise first half.
See, these are the things that kill you. You have the basketball, as Union Catholic did, and you're down 7, and then you commit a foul when you have the ball and you send them to the foul line. So instead of being able to cut the lead, you allow them to add to the lead. And these become 4-point swings sometimes that just really turn a game around.
And Quentin Jordan, number 22, we see talking to Dwight Wilbur, just committed the foul, sending Brandeberry to the line. Ken Brandeberry hits the first. He's now 3 out of 4 from the foul line.
He's just had a very, very solid game for Union tonight.
12 points, looking for point number 13.
But he's done so many other things too. He's created some shots for others. He's played very good defense on Jimmy Regan, and he's just played a very solid game.
And Union back to their biggest lead of 9, 41-32. Rossner draws the foul on Horton. That's the third on Horton. So Horton with 3, Brandeberry with 3 fouls for Union.
Those Union kids, they're trying to step in and take that charge. They're thinking about position. They're thinking about taking charges, and sometimes they're just a half a step late. But the thought process is there.
Rossner gets his 10th point. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. Junior guard averages 15 points, 6 assists a game. Good on the second as well, 41-34.
Nothing but net on those two.
5 for 5 from the line for Rossner. He has 11 points. Almost a steal by Horton. Jordan saves the Casimir.
There they are.
Drive by Regan. 41-36. Jim Regan with his first field goal.
Back
big
into
one.
the press again, and they got a turnover and a score.
4:30 to go. Casimir with the steal. Here come the Vikings. Corretto off glass. Rossner gets the rebound, puts it home. And the Vikings of Union Catholic have stormed back once again, 41-38 with 4:17 to go.
This has just absolutely been a game of runs, and neither team is going to fade. They're both making their run when they need to, and they're right back in it, Union Catholic is, with 4 minutes to go, down 3. Great position to be in on your home court.
Union Catholic had some great teams in the 80s. 1987, they beat a John Crotty-led CBA team for the Parochial A state title with Neil Horn Jr. at guard. Jimmy Lane, who went on to Princeton up front, along with Eric George, Tate George's brother.
I'm not sure of that, but was Neil Horn Sr. the coach of that team?
Neil Horn Sr. was the coach of that club. He also coached, we saw the 86 finalists in the UCT with Tate George.
Yeah, Neil was a heck of a coach.
Neil had a great run.
Basketball
now
player.
the athletic director at Somerville.
Well, this is interesting because it's been games within a game here. Union Catholic has really affected Union with the press in the last couple of possessions and gotten right back into the game. So Union's got to do a better job of handling this press and be a little bit more careful with the basketball.
And Rossner matching up with Horton, trying to get it out of the backcourt for the Farmers.
Got it over.
And they give it back to the point guard, LaForest Knox.
Now they go to their man-to-man defense.
Knox.
Oh, LaForest.
Rebound by Casimir. Knox, though, with a reach-in foul. And that'll send Casimir to the line.
LaForest did everything but finish, unfortunately. He had a great move, and here's Casimir with the rebound back to the line.
And with a chance to cut the Union lead